I just figured out the formula method by which criminals are holding America by the balls. All the politicians, all the policymakers who are controlled by criminals, a lot of it is done by this method. I'm going to reveal it to you. It's what they used on me. So it's because sex is a taboo subject, all right? Because sex is a taboo, that's you got to understand that. So it's socially unacceptable to talk about the stuff that you don't talk about in public. The scammer was telling them all these dirty sexual lies, falsehoods, and she does them in private, because when they come in, 911 is called, either I was calling or she was calling, in these repeatedly, hundreds of calls during her year and a half occupation of my house. She was able to get away with it because they separate you. So they say she has a right to say separate from me privately what's going on. And she tells them lies that I don't get to find out, because when I'm asking them what she told them, they tell me 8:32. That's just an excuse. It's because they don't want to discuss. It's socially unacceptable. She tells them such horrible, dirty stuff that's socially unacceptable to talk about in public. And then so I'm not able to exonerate myself. Do you understand? So the cops themselves are held hostage with they're being blackmailed. The people, I can see it in their face. They really don't, but they know there's something wrong they're doing. They tell me they're not allowed to speak it. They're not allowed to say who put in that policy. Okay, whoever put in that, all of these policies and laws that are being abused and by the criminals for these scams. They have them all, documented. Police, the officer told me they're not allowed to speak, that if they have moral opinion about what they're doing. So they know they're doing wrong, they're not allowed to speak it. Are they allowed to think it? Right? Does that make sense to you? A cop has a gun that he has a right to use. He has a license to kill, and he can make up an excuse, look like you had a weapon in your hand. The Skittles in your hand look like a weapon, I have to do it, right? So they they do abuse that law. You know about that, okay? I've had friends of mine that would tell me when they were growing up, I hate to bring this up, and you're going to tell me I won't even say it, okay? It's not for that purpose, but there's a history of abuse of the law for the wrong reason. All right? And so this is the one method that's being used. They did target me specifically because I'm Middle Eastern, okay? That's part of it. It's a hate crime. And then and you bring it up, they say, oh, you're using buzzwords like racism. But doesn't make it not true. When I complain to police report police corruption, it's above my pay grade. This is a societal matter. That's an excuse. The fact that police corruption is a societal matter doesn't mean you shouldn't be correcting it, right? You're in charge of police corruption. The person you go to report to that there's something wrong says, I can't do it because it's part of societal problem. It's above my pay grade. So they've been trained to cover it up with all these methods. When you're telling them about it, they put on their radio and say, oh, there's something emergency, I got to go. And there's nothing on the radio. They've been trained in police academy, all these methods to cover it up. And so all of the criminals around America who are using these methods, they're telling these dirty lies to the police, and the landlord, the ones that are like tenant-landlord disputes, the landlord doesn't get to hear what the occupying tenant, the squatter, is telling to the cops. So this is the formula method. So you know about it. Don't let it hold on. Now that you know, All the politicians who told, we'll reveal to the public the dirty stuff you do, you'll be disgraced. You won't work in Washington anymore. You won't work in government anymore. So this method, now you know what it is. We shouldn't let criminals govern, corrupt our government, use it to hurt us to get profit, right? We shouldn't allow all the frivolous lawsuits are allowed to happen. Why? The reason criminals are able to have power over our government, this is one major part of it. So it shouldn't be, now that I've revealed it to you, then come out and go to the cops, West Valley Police Station, say, I know why you're not revealing. That's a formula method. And the fact that you want to perpetuate it, reveal it. I don't care how dirty the lies are she told you, reveal it. I'm always telling you guys, I want to know what it is. And I'm always telling you, I won't sue you for what it is. Release a liability, the dirtiest thing, because they're all false. I don't do anything wrong. Reveal what she told you, no matter how dirty it is. That's a formula, because she's blackmailing people in the police department there. That's how she does, and she's bribing them with sex, and they're bribing, and then using that to blackmail them. Do you understand? So she goes on giving all the cops blowjobs, and then she can reveal it. So then they're held hostage with these embarrassing. Probably she's going to testify that she gave them all blowjobs. So they have to do what she says, right? Right? This is the method. I figured it out because the dog park, they keep saying you shouldn't be posting here about what happened, but they don't tell me why. Because it's socially unacceptable to say it's because it's dirty sexual stuff. And they don't want to talk about it. So they keep putting all these excuses. They say you should only put about happy stuff, or you should only talk about dogs. This is a dog park. It's just because you don't want to say it's about sex. It's a taboo subject to talk about. And so that's why the cops aren't telling me what she told them. So this method, now that you know what it is, you shouldn't let it hold America hostage. All the Americans, all the policymakers in America who being blackmailed with sexual dirty stuff that's been framed or produced and provoked, all the scams that use this method, which is what this is. All the people who are in jail using this method, all the people who've been sued using this method, all the people who blackmailed using these methods should be exonerated. Now that you know what it is, start talking about the taboo subject. That because it's taboo, you don't talk about it, and so all these people are being held without because they didn't do anything wrong. Sex isn't wrong. Sex isn't wrong. That's a lie. Sexual violation is wrong, which is what these people are doing, using sex to hurt people.